In question number 5, we are asked, is the function f of x even, odd, or neither? And then we're asked to explain. So we can prove that a function is even if this statement is true for all input values. We can prove that a function is odd if this statement is true for all input values. And if this is a false statement and this is a false statement, then we would say that the function is neither even nor odd. Let's get started. I always shy away from using 0. I always shy away from using 1. That's just my personal preference. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose 2. So let me come off to the side, and I just want to know what is the output when the input is 2. So I want 6 times 2 to the third minus 2 times 2 squared. 2 to the third, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So I have 6 times 8 minus 2 times 2 squared is 4. So 48 minus 2 times 4 is 8. So 2 to the second is 40. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Now let's first test to see, or prove to see if f of x is in fact even. So I'm going to write f of 2 and then f of negative 2. So wherever I see the x, I'm just plugging in this value. You may be thinking, why is there a negative? Because this is the format to prove if a function is even. So I'm dropping down the 2 where I see an x, and again I'm inserting the 2 here with the negative in front. Now I know the output for f of 2 is 40. Now I'm going to test negative 2. So let me come off to the side and I'm going to test negative 2. So I have 6 times negative 2 to the third minus 2 times negative 2 squared. So negative 2 times itself 3 times. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. That's an odd number of negatives, which would produce a negative value. So I get a negative 8 here. Subtract 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. That's an even number of negatives, which would be positive. So negative 48 minus 8 would give me a negative 56. Now these two values are not equal. That means that this function f of x is not. This function of f of x is not even. Okay, now let's come here. We again are going to do the exact same thing. Let me switch up the colors here. So I'm going to start with just inserting this 2. So I have negative, and I'm going to put a 2 in, and then I'm going to put a 2 in here. So a 2 in here and 2 in here. Now I've already done the math over here, and you would have to show your work for AP exam. I already know that f of negative 2 for a function f of x produces a negative 56. Now what is just f of 2? F of 2 is 40, and then I'm going to throw a negative in front, and we can see the left side does not equal the right side. So this statement is not true for this function. That means this function is not odd. So it is neither even nor odd. You do have to have these memorized, so you're going to want to write those down somewhere.